Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new to the channel as well. This is my Jeff Bishop Alpha Hunter review that I did on July 12th, so about 3 weeks ago now. Put this article up. And so Jeff has been alerting in this as he had with Wall Street Bookie. So if you're familiar with the Wall Street Bookie service, basically Alpha Hunter is a copy of that with a little couple of twists, which we'll talk about. And also, like, obviously the renaming from Wall Street Bookie to Alpha Hunter. So I don't know, maybe you just have to sort of put some sort of predator in the name, and suddenly it becomes more appealing for people to sign up. But Wall Street Bookie sounds a bit lame, whereas Alpha Hunter sounds really cool and testosterone packed. So hopefully people that are joining this are finding it useful. I think from looking at the data that I just found the other day, actually just this morning, I think it is looking really good. So it's looking like a really good service for you guys. So I want to make sure that I show that, which is in this Google Sheets here. This is very well hidden. I had to dig through a lot of the chat inside Raging Bull, inside the membership chat rooms and everything inside Raging Bull just to find this. Even for subscribers, it's hard to find this Google spreadsheet that Jeff is keeping with all his trades for Alpha Hunter. So that's always something that these services have lacked, and I think they've gotten a lot better at it. And there's very few services out there that actually keep a running track record, and that might be for a reason. So it's always nice to see, like Jason Bond's small account journeys. The small account journeys are going really well, and I think it's good to see him keeping spreadsheets, and I think it's good to see Jeff Bishop starting to keep spreadsheets, and then the other guys there, like Jeff Williams, he's also keeping a really detailed track record of his services as well. So it's pretty exciting to see the way that standards are changing over the last few years. It used to be that you'd never get the track records from these guys, but you're actually starting to see the track records, which is really great. So I'm excited about it. Anyway, I wrote this article a couple of weeks ago, July 12th. It is currently August 2nd. And there wasn't a lot of information about what Jeff wanted to do here. So basically, I just put this article here where he said it was the rebrand from the Wall Street Bookie service, but with a twist where he wants to basically make $10,000 every single month using these spreads. And it's going to be interesting to look at the data over the last few weeks because it's quite telling about how much capital you need to use to get this 10,000 a month. And it's pretty impressive what he's actually done so far, especially given that the pressure that's put on these guys to make these bold claims. So he says the goal is to make $10,000 a month trading the Alpha Hunter service. And he's going to do this by sending alerts out via the app and emails showing exact trades before he takes them and when he buys and sells. Jeff's position size is typically $3,000 per trade to teach people in the service what he does. Typically, he'll have 3 to 5 positions on at any one time. So from there, you can gather that you're probably going to need $15,000, $20,000 minimum in order to do this. But in order, like having $15,000 and making $10,000 a month is ridiculous. Like, it's amazing. If he can do this and sustain it through both bullish, neutral, and bearish markets, that's really impressive. So I'll be super excited to see what he does going forward as the market starts to turn over, which we've started to see a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about that as well in a minute. So I noted during this article, like when I was writing this, that he'd made $1,800 a week before launching the service in July. So that seems like it's starting to go pretty well. It's maybe have to step up a bit to get to that 10,000. And it looks like he did. So here is the spreadsheet that I found where he's been keeping a track record going forward of all the different trades that he's done. So you can see the exit date and the entry date here. So this is July 12th and the exit is 2 days later, July 14th. This was a bull put on Tesla. And he made $675 on it right here. So you can see that, which is 27%. You can see Jeff's actually online at the moment looking at the spreadsheet. So you can see the tickers here. He's done Tesla, Coin, Riven, Melly, SPY, UPST, CVNA, UVXY, Riven again, SPY, ORCL, Oracle. So there's different styles of trading here. So this is not all just on SPY. It's not just one particular like directional trade. So for example, he has bull puts, which are more like bullish, and his bear calls, which are more bearish. long call spreads, iron condors. So he has a little bit of a variety here as well. So from the 14th of July, which is only 2 weeks or so ago, a little bit over 2 weeks ago, these are all the trades he's done. So you can see he's pretty busy. But look at this, he's actually made $11,000 from this from these trades in this alert service, which is pretty good. I mean, given that you're only using, here we go, right here, size $2,475 for this one. So you can see for these particular position sizes, pretty good, right? I mean, getting to $11,000. Now, granted, we've had a bullish market, but it's just starting to turn over right now. Just a little bit of weakness hinted with this idea that the US credit rating has been downgraded. So we'll see how things go, and I'll keep reporting on this. Like, I'll talk about what actually happens over the next few weeks, whether like all these gains are given back, or if he just does more of the bear call spreads so that we actually see, like, you know, significantly different results. It's going to be really interesting, but this is a huge step forward, guys. To see actually these guys giving their trades exactly as they alert them and keeping a spreadsheet record. This sounds like it should be like a standard in the industry, but it actually isn't. It's actually really not a normal thing to have. And if you do have it, it generally is kind of like, I don't know what to believe here. But it's very easy to match these up with the alerts that he gives out in the Raging Bull Alerts app. So it's very easy to match these and see he's actually doing these trades. So you can see for the last few weeks he has made $11,000 just using $2,500 to $3,000 position sizes. So this could be a service if you're happy with that type of position size. You might want to consider looking at. I'll leave a link to the description below to go and visit the Alpha Hunter review article and see if this is something you'd like to try. One thing that I would suggest that you definitely have in your sort of buckets of profits. So I like to think of trading as you have these like high risk, high reward trades, and then like medium, and then low risk, low reward trades, but something that you can totally count on. It's way, way, way better than like putting it in a high interest account or whatever, or what people were doing, you know, with crypto in terms of trying to get really good results from crypto. Just ignore that. It's not like a thing anymore, in my opinion. You can try some of these bots, they work pretty well, but apart from that, I would go with something that Lance from Theta Traders and I are doing, which is called consistent passive profits. And it's these types of trades, but they're done really conservatively to the point where like you don't have to worry when there's a downturn in the market. So I'll leave a link in the description below where you can go and check out the service that we're currently offering, and I have some money invested in, where it's basically this style of trading but very conservative, so you don't have to like stress on every flip of the market. So if we look at the problem recently has been that the stock market has been on this really nice uptrend for a while, since about April of 2023. And now we're starting to see a pullback where it's just kind of starting to pull back just a little bit. It's not even a big deal. But people that are used to just the constant uptrend are starting to get a little bit freaked out about this potential pullback. Just, you know, it's not much, but it's basically because the markets fell on Wednesday this week because the downgrade of the US debt from the highest AAA rating to the AA plus rating by the company Fitch. And so Fitch cited a steady deterioration in standards of governance as a major reason behind its decision on Tuesday evening. A major sell-off led by technology sector followed. I wouldn't call it a major sell-off. This is kind of dramatic, to be honest. And I'm actually surprised because by CNN, you'd think they'd be like everything's fine, you know, Biden's the best kind of thing. But so the Dow closed 348 points or 1% lower in Wednesday trading. The S&P fell 1.4% and the Nasdaq dropped 2.2%, marking its worst performance since February. We've had a really good run, guys. Like, this is not surprising at all. Like, really, it really isn't surprising. Now, this is the problem for people like Jason Bond, is that tech megacap stocks like Amazon, Meta, Tesla, NVDA, and Apple led market declines. This is a problem. Like, the small account journey stuff that Jason Bond does at Raging Bull is all based around these types of stocks. So they're going to be kind of sweating it for the next couple of days, see if these things bounce back, which I really hope they do. Be interesting to see. So yeah, so Alpha Hunter has been so far amazing. I need to start actually taking his trades. I haven't been taking them, at all. I've been kind of watching and seeing, and it's like, okay, this guy actually is doing a really good job. It's not surprising, right? He's been trading for 20 plus years. He's been running Raging Bull, all these other businesses on on the side, and also trading. So it's pretty impressive. The Alpha Hunter service itself is right here. So if we look at the thing right here, this is what you get. These are Jeff's services. I'm a member of Raging Bull Elite, so I get everything they have and ever will have in this program. So I get to do bullseye trades, which are awesome, and then the Alpha Hunter is this list right here. So you have the videos, the Alpha Pulse reports, and the Alpha Chamber, which is the chat room. I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it's the chat room. So definitely keep an eye on what this guy's doing. This is quite impressive so far. The big tell here will be, can Jeff sustain the gains or at least not lose money as the market starts to dip here. Let's take a look at the market and see how things actually are. I'll just log into my Thinkorswim here. And we can sort of go from there and see how things are looking. And then I want to talk a little bit about, oh, invalid password. Let's see. 1993. Nope, I wish I was that young. This is my birth year, 1983. So I'm going to log in. We'll have a look at the markets and just kind of see. This is an interesting mix of trades. Like to me, the different types of trade and the different tickers combined is quite interesting. I think more varied than what you normally see with people like Jason or Jeff Williams in terms of like these types of trades. So pretty interesting. Alright, so Thinkorswim is logged in. I'm in positions with lands from thetatraders.com where we're looking at these levels. These are the worst case scenario for us by Friday, so this is looking a little bit more solid than I hoped for. Like, we have a day and a half. Hopefully we don't break these lines. If not, no big deal. Lance is going to teach me apparently how we're going to cope with that and how we're going to actually make more money from these lines being breached than if they don't be. But part of me like still thinks that we want to keep these lines. We want to make sure that we have these trades that expire and give us a full profit. So those are two key lines for me. Apart from that, I don't really care because my next lines are way down here somewhere at 4200. So I'm not bothered what the market does really, unless it comes all the way back down to like down this type of region. And then I start to get a little nervous. So we'll see. Hopefully it keeps up here pretty well. So let's look at SPY real quick. So you can see people are starting to freak out. It's only a little drop. I mean, it's, you've got this uptrend. It's been going on since April, May. So April time. You're going to get the pullback like you did here. It pulled back and it continued and it pulled back and it continued. So I'm not overly worried that we're going to see a huge sell-off all the way down to 400 or anything like that. I think we'll just see a little bit of a dip and then a rise again. But I think it's important if you have positions not to freak out, that there's plenty of time for these to bounce. In fact, they really already are starting to bounce. If you look at the markets after hours here on the 1 minute chart, they've started to bounce a little bit. We shouldn't be too worried. We started to bottom. You see, we bottomed before market close and they started to go back up here. So I wouldn't be too freaked out if you're, in positions that are very market dependent. It looks like we probably, fingers crossed, aren't going to break through this level too soon. Don't want to speak too soon though. We tested support around here actually. If you look on the longer time frame here, actually further out, like 1 hour time frame here, you see we have support around this area where my cursor is from back here. And you can see so far we've actually like bounced off of that as well. So fingers crossed we'll be okay, that this will start to trend back up and everything will be just fine again for everybody with these trades. But yeah. Alright guys, check the links in the description. I think you'll enjoy what you find there, and I'll talk to you guys soon.